So, since we finished Charlotte Webb, the next book we're going to read is Amelia Bedelia Goes Wild. Chapter 1, Sick as a Dog. Crossed out, finally. Amelia Bedelia was sick. She was really sick. She was sick of being in her bedroom. She was sick of playing with her animals and dolls. She was sick of watching nature programs on TV. She was sick of gazing out the window at the beautiful spring day. She was sick of thinking about how much fun her class was having without her on the field trip to the zoo. Most of all, she was sick of being sick. "How's the worst patient in the world?" asked Amelia Bedelia's mother. She put a bowl of soup and a grilled cheese sandwich on Amelia Bedelia's desk, along with Amelia Bedelia's favorite fruit, a banana. Amelia Bedelia stood up in bed. "I'm all better now," she announced. To prove it, she jumped up and started waving her arms around. Quickly, she plopped down again. "Mommy," she said, "make the room stop spinning." "Don't make yourself dizzy, sweetie," her mother said, tucking her back in. "I don't want you to fall and hit your head." Hit your head on top of having the flu. Amelia Bedelia began to cough. "Are you okay?" asked her mother. "This pesky flu is one tough bug." "Flu comes from an insect?" said Amelia Bedelia. "That's gross. It's not fair that a tiny bug stopped me from going to the zoo. I'm missing all the cool animals." Only one good thing had happened while Amelia Bedelia was sick. She had gotten to watch a television show about monkeys, and she learned an amazing thing. Since monkeys eat lots of bananas, they have figured out a fast way to peel them. Instead of starting at the hard stalk at the top, they turn the banana upside down. Then they pinch the little nub at the bottom, and the skin falls right off. Amelia Bedelia peels her banana the Amelia Bedelia peeled her banana the same way she had seen the monkeys do on the TV. Presto! It worked. The skin fell right off. Amelia Bedelia ate her banana, but she didn't touch anything else. She was too sick. Chapter 2, Not a Fit Night for Amelia Bedelia or Beast. When Amelia Bedelia's father got home from work, he sat on Amelia Bedelia's bed and began polishing off her sandwich and soup. "Still sick as a dog, huh?" he asked. He looked around Amelia Bedelia's room. Hey, speaking of dogs, where's Finally?" Amelia Bedelia was about to sneeze, so she pointed to her dog who was curled up on a dog bed in the corner of her room. "Ah, ah, ah, choo!" "Choo!" sneezed Finally at the exact same time. "That's a neat trick," said her father. "So is Finally as sick as a dog too?" "She has no choice," said Amelia Bedelia. "Finally is a dog. She can't be as sick as an elephant." "Good point," said her dad. "Hey, you aren't playing possum, are you? You didn't miss your school trip to the zoo on purpose." "Daddy, what are you talking about?" asked Amelia Bedelia. "If I was a possum, I'd have my own cage at the zoo." Amelia Bedelia's mother came in just as her father was swallowing the last bite of grilled cheese. "Oh, Amelia Bedelia," she said, "I'm glad you managed to eat your sandwich. You need to get your strength back." Amelia Bedelia's father put his fingers to his lips to signal that what had happened to her sandwich would be their secret. "I need my strength too," he said. "It's a jungle out there. My office is a total zoo. It was wild today." "Sorry, honey," said Amelia Bedelia's mother. "Come tell me all about it in the kitchen, so Amelia Bedelia can rest." "I almost forgot, little possum," said Amelia Bedelia's father from the doorway. "Did you hear what happened today? A monkey escaped from the zoo. Maybe it's a good thing you stayed home. They might have mistaken you for him. We'd be sneaking into the zoo right this minute to rescue you." Usually Amelia Bedelia's father's jokes made her laugh. This one was not one of those times, though. She really was sick. Amelia Bedelia's mother rolled her eyes. "Come on, honey," she said. "I need help with dinner." Amelia Bedelia buried her face in her pillow. She was sick, and now she was heartsick, too. This disaster was getting worse. Not only had she missed the thrill of being at the zoo, on an amazing field trip, but a monkey had escaped while her class was there. That would never happen again. What if she had been able to capture it? What? Shoo! Amelia Bedelia felt more miserable than ever. The only thing she'd caught was a bug, the flu. She buried under her blankets like a hibernating bear. It was getting windy outside. Thunder was rumbling closer. Tree branches clattered against her window. They sounded like claws tapping and scraping. Her father was right. It was a jungle out there. Lightning flashed and thunder roared. Or was that an enormous lightning bug and a lion? Amelia Bedelia tossed and turned. She felt hot, then cold. Strange pictures popped into her head. Her stuffed animals were on the move. A penguin waddled behind a koala riding a hippopotamus. The animals gathered in a circle on her bedspread, drinking from a water hole at her feet. Suddenly she was in her backyard. The sky was filled with enormous puffy clouds shaped like flamingos. A giant bunny and an otter peeked out from behind her mother's azaleas. A giraffe was nibbling on their garbage. Then her class came walking by. Amelia Bedelia was so glad to see everyone. "How was the zoo?" she asked. "The zoo was nice," said her friend Clay, "but your backyard is way better. Help us look for the missing monkey." Amelia Bedelia and her classmates searched everywhere, and she introduced them all to her animals. "Do you feel better, pretty pup?" said Amelia Bedelia when she spotted Finally next to the bird bath. "I'm fine now," said Finally, "but for a while I was sick as Amelia Bedelia." Amelia Bedelia couldn't believe what she couldn't believe that her dog was actually talking. Her cheeks burned hotter and hotter, and her head pounded, until at last her fever broke. She listened to the rain gently drumming on her window and fell asleep. The next morning, as soon as Amelia Bedelia woke up, she had the strangest idea in her life. It was a really big idea. She wanted to go to school right away and tell her friends, even though it was Saturday. She needed their help. Amelia Bedelia was certain that when they heard her big idea, they would be as excited as she was. They might think it was weird or even wacky, but one thing was certain, it was going to be wild. Chapter 3. Herd Instinct. By Monday, Amelia Bedelia had beaten her flu bug and was back in school. She couldn't wait to tell everyone about her big idea, but her classmates were still talking and laughing about their super fun field trip. She felt bad. Not sick, just left out. Class called out their teacher, Mrs. Shuck. She had long, pointy fingernails painted shiny red. Her nickname was the Hawk because she saw everything, even with her back turned. "Settle down, please," she said. Feeling the gaze of the Hawk upon her, Amelia Bedelia sat up straighter. "Amelia Bedelia," said Mrs. Shock, "we're glad you are feeling better. We really missed you on our field trip. We got you a souvenir from the gift shop." Suzanne presented Amelia Bedelia with a box decorated with pictures of animals. Everyone gathered around Amelia Bedelia's desk as she opened it. Staring up at her from the tissue paper was the cutest plush monkey she'd ever seen. The gift made her feel a lot better. She gave the monkey a big hug and Susanna a bigger hug. "Thanks for thinking of me," she said to everyone. "It's a life-size squirrel monkey," said Suzanne. "That's the same kind that escaped from the zoo. It ran right by us." "I thought it was a baby," said Chip. "I thought it was you," said Daisy. Okay, okay, Chabook, chirped Chip. Everyone burst out laughing. Mrs. Shuck clapped 3 times to restore order. "Amelia Bedelia," she said, "we have other exciting things to share with you. Before the trip, you were each assigned an animal to investigate, and now that you've seen the real thing, I want each of you to write a report about your animal. You can add pictures if you like, and be prepared to present your research to the class this afternoon." Amelia Bedelia had chosen monkeys as her animal, but she wondered how she was going to write her report if she hadn't seen a real one at the zoo. Staring at the stuffed squirrel monkey perched on her desk, Amelia Bedelia got an idea. She would take the banana her mom had packed in her lunchbox and show everyone how a monkey would peel it. She would be presenting something she'd seen a monkey do, even if it was only on TV. Feel free to share your writing with one another, Mrs. Shock said. Make suggestions and helpful comments, but please no reading aloud. No reading aloud? That made no sense to Amelia Bedelia. If there's no reading aloud, she asked, how will we know what anyone else wrote? You're allowed to read, but not aloud, said Mrs. Shuck. Amelia Bedelia wished Mrs. Shuck would make up her mind. Was reading allowed or not allowed? Can I read or not? She asked. Of course, said Mrs. Shuck. I just need to be able to hear myself think. Amelia Bedelia was even more confused. She never ever heard herself think, and now reading was not allowed. Amelia Bedelia hadn't missed that many days of school, had she? She felt lost and began wishing she had the flu again so she could be home. Amelia Bedelia got up to get her banana from her cubby so she could work on her report. Where are you going? Asked Mrs. Shuck. I need my banana for writing, said Amelia Bedelia. Use your pencil, please, said Mrs. Shuck. It writes better than a banana. Everyone giggled as Amelia Bedelia sat back down. Now she couldn't even write about peeling a banana. What should she do? Aha! Thought Amelia Bedelia. She would write about her big idea. After lunch, everyone presented their reports. Amelia Bedelia learned many interesting facts about the animals at the zoo. When it was her turn, Amelia Bedelia stood up and read. Amelia Bedelia had forgotten the best part, so she stood up again and added, if you come over, I'll show you how I skipped a page. My Zoo by Amelia Bedelia. I was too sick to go to the zoo. I was very sad, so I set up my stuffed animals like they were in the zoo. I visited them in my room. That night, I dreamt there were animals in my backyard. There were all kinds of creatures, normal ones and weird ones. I dreamed that you all came to see them. Some of the animals were your pets, but dressed up like they were wild. This is why I have decided to make a zoo in my backyard. Come over to my house after school and help me plan what it will look like and what animals will be in it. Bring your pets too, if you would like them to be in my zoo. Amelia Bedelia sat down. The room was completely quiet. She picked up her squirrel monkey and tickled its ears. Did they think her report was dumb? Finally Clay whispered. That would be wild, Amelia Bedelia, he said. I hope so, said Amelia Bedelia. That's my plan. Amelia Bedelia had forgotten the best part, so she stood up again and added, if you come over, I'll show you how monkeys eat a banana. It's really cool. Everyone cheered. Our field trip to the zoo isn't over yet, said Toady. It just moved to Amelia Bedelia's backyard.